I just got a DoorDash order that I just dropped off from a dude named Money Flowin. Yeah, Money Flow, FLOWN. Money Flowin. For the bare minimum DoorDash, $3, just basic entry fee that they pay a driver. Starting off, $3. Just nothing, no tip, no nothing. So I'm thinking to myself, man, money flowing. Money must be broke and poor. So I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? I'll deliver the thing because it was, it was only 3 miles away, so $1 a mile, whatever. I delivered it, and then I was getting kind of like, man, they won't answer the phone call because you can't. It's an apartment complex. That's kind of a rough apartment complex. I pull up, they got one dude standing outside with a hammer, with an extended clip. He's just chilling outside. I'm looking at him, he's looking at me. He got his hammer in his hand. You know what I mean? I guess it was a 9.45, I couldn't tell. He was a little bit in front of me, and he's looking at me. I'm looking at him. I'm like, look, you ain't got to worry about me. I'm just dropping off Money Flowing his pizza. Y'all probably cool anyway, because it's the same complex, So I can't find the dude. Finally, I see this little kid. He got to be about 5, 6 years old, and he's standing outside. And I realize, wait, the little kid must be waiting for the pizza. So I look at him. The kid looks at me. I look back at the dude who got his hammer with the extended clip. The kid comes up to me, up to my truck. It's daylight outside. Usually I'm delivering at nighttime. And, I say, hey, you got Papa John's? He says, yeah. So I ain't really going to say nothing about money flowing, because money broke and poor must be his mom or his dad, I'm assuming. And the little kid just wanted his pizza. Or a lot of times you see kids will just take their parents' account and just order food. They don't know nothing about nothing, so they don't really give no tip, but you hold parents responsible. I mean, but you can't call yourself money flowing and you money broke and poor, and you don't leave no tip, because you ain't got no flexing. You should call yourself broke and poor or something, or just call yourself by your real name. But like I said in my other video, you never know what people name their kids nowadays. We had a dude who just recently died in the area of the West Bank where I live at, and his name was Tupac Shakur. Literally, Tupac Shakur, the way Tupac Shakur spelled his name, that's the way his parents named him. That was his real name. The reported news, he just lost his life. Somebody blam, 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 blasted up his car. And it was on the news. He was in a red car. The little kid I just delivered the food to, he was in all red clothes. So I don't know, maybe it's something with red today. Who knows? Red don't need to me. I mean, red is the life force, right? Red is the color that we bleed. It's the color of our blood. It's what we see with our eyes, right? So it's not a bad thing when you see red. It's a good thing, So, it's, our blood is it's basically the oil of our body, if you had to put us in some kind of mechanical, automobile language. Cars can't run without oil. Human beings can't run without blood pumping. And the dude, Tupac Shakur, he lost his life because he got blasted in Harvey, Louisiana. Sad, tragic thing. He was only 24 years old. Maybe if I can find a picture, I'll put a picture of him right there. Rest in peace. I don't know the dude, but you don't want to see nobody losing their life so young. It's just my thoughts right now, as I do my DoorDash and, I'm trying to hustle, trying to make a little money. Look, that saying, they used to have that song, man, ain't too proud to beg. Well, I ain't too proud to where I can't get out here and drive my truck to try to make a few dollars. I'll do a lot of things to make a few dollars. I've always worked. I've always had a job. Sometimes you do what you got to do. I've had some jobs that I had where the jobs were, not the best, nothing to brag about, but you do what you got to do. You work where you got to work. And I worked jobs when I was growing up. I remember going to learn how to do roofing work with my dad. I did roofing a lot. That's what I can do. I know how to roof. That's one of the gifts my dad gave me, right? I know you're laughing. My dad taught me how to be a roofer. So he did. He taught me how to roof. And so I did roofing for a good part of my life. That's what I did. That's back before all these Hurricane Katrinas and all these big storms where you had a lot of immigrants coming in doing all that work. They do a lot, not all of it, but they do a lot of it now. But back when I was coming up, they didn't do none of it. It was all done by, people from the West Bank and New Orleans. That's who was doing it, you know what I mean? It was white dudes and black dudes because that's who they had, and some Vietnamese dudes, They ain't really had nobody else when I was coming up, mainly on the West Bank. That's it. But, so you do what you got to do, and you make what you got to make, and you work how you got to work. And for me right now, just working DoorDash is what I got to do. That's what I'm doing. And, you know, sometimes it is what it is. You know, don't be scared to work. If you pressed up on hard time, don't be like Money Flowing. You know, you don't want to portray something that you're really not. Don't try to be something you're not. I used to tell it to people all the time. Just be yourself. Be who you are. Why do you have to be somebody you're not? It doesn't do you any good. It doesn't do your family any good. It doesn't do in society. And you know what? Worry about you. If you're portraying who you're not, and you're not living up to expectations, well, you're falling short. But if you say, look, I'm just on the grind. I'm door dashing. I'm cutting grass. When I was young, we used to go cut grass. I remember I got jacked out of a couple grass by bullies in the neighborhood. I got the yard, and they went behind me and took the yard from me, from the homeowner. The homeowner was an adult, so they were just as bad. We were 13, 14 years old. Broke my heart. It was somebody I knew. Undercut me. Came in. Gut punched me. Did it for better or whatever. Said they was part of the team. I don't know. I'm standing in a spot right now on the West Bank. This is where I used to do Christmas trees, you know, during Christmas time, so I can buy my family Christmas gifts. I did that when I was 14 years old. You know, you load the Christmas tree in the people's truck and they give you a tip, you know, $2, $3, $4, $5. If you got $5 back in the 90s, that was a good little tip. Every once in a while, somebody hit you with a 10. Man, you felt so good. You know what you could do with $10 for a Christmas gift back in the 90s, early 90s? Maybe late 80s, I don't remember. It's a different time, different place. I don't know, I just was thinking about that stuff, and that's what I got going on. So Money Flowing, don't be Money Flowing. Don't be somebody who can't live up to expectations, and don't be broke. You know what I mean? Money broke and poor, don't do that.